Good evening everybody, welcome back to another video. Before we get into this, little notice, in the corner there, the new Fulham calendar came a couple of weeks ago now, put up, looking very pristine. Tom Cairney, the face of January as well. But that aside, talking about today's result, 4-1 away at Arsenal, we got beat. And really, it was one of those games where I'm not overly annoyed really, because we created quite a few chances in the first half. And we just didn't put the chances away. Session had that great chance we went through on goal, and he couldn't find it. He beat Leno quite well, but then he just dragged it wide, didn't he? And he had that chance when the ball come across the box as well, and he put it wide as well. And straight away, when them chances ain't going in, it's always going to be there's always going to be a possibility of how Arsenal could break away with the quality they got in attack. They started Lacazette and Aubameyang this time round, when they didn't start Lacazette last week against Liverpool. They left him on the bench. So. But yeah, we didn't put our chances away in the first half, and as I said, it leaves that possibility of Arsenal breaking and scoring with the quality they got, and it did happen really, albeit from a slightly, probably from the most player we didn't expect it to happen with, Granit Xhaka, but the goal was so easily avoidable. I mean, Xhaka picks the ball up, he makes a pass, and you just watch him run. It's about 20 yards into the box. Tom Cairney really should be tracking the run. I don't want to moan about too much. I don't want it to be a moaning video, because I don't think it really should do that. I think on the whole we played well, but that first goal was so poor to concede. I mean, it shows that without Callum Chambers in there, a proper defensive-minded player, that we are quite weak in the midfield. Obviously, Ibrahim Cissé came in today, and he played in the absence of Callum Chambers. And I hope that when we play in the FA Cup, he might keep that place. But then when we go to Burnley, hopefully Callum Chambers will go back in, because he's been a real good. Consistent figure in the midfield this season since moving into that position, starting from centre half. And look, at the end of the day, it's one of them score lines really that probably, if you look at it, it probably flatters Arsenal. I'd say I don't think Arsenal was sparkling today. They got the job done in the end. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think their defence is as great as ours. I think both our back lines are generally quite poor. But they've got the two quality attackers, and that's what that does. That's what's the major factor sometimes. When you've got two good players in attack who know the back of the net is, you're going to put your chances away. We know that quite well. When we was in the Championship a couple of years ago, when we had McCormack and Dembele up front, we couldn't defend for shit, but we had two players who knew where the back of the net was, and we simply was able to outscore teams, albeit in the Championship in the weaker division. But we've seen before, when we've got players who can put the ball in the back of the net, you're going to win more games than you're going to lose, and you're going to score more goals than you let in as well. But defensively, again, it's a shame really letting 4 goals in. We've done well in the last 3 games, trying to limit ourselves to 1 goal in the last 3 games that we've conceded really. And to go and let 4 in on our first game of the new year isn't great. Obviously, it's generally quite poor, and most of the goals really quite easily avoidable. Obviously, without Alfie Mawson, I do think we are going to struggle. Maxime Le Marchand played today, and I do like him at centre half. I think he's very good. I think he should retain his place. But we do need to look into the market now for a centre half, maybe on loan or even a permanent, because if Mawson's injured that same knee, which has been rumoured, he could be out for a very long time again, and it's going to probably take him a little bit longer to come back from this second time round. So we're going to have to really try and look into the market for a centre half who can really hit the ground running. And I do believe now that this could be probably the most important transfer window that the Khans might have to face here, because there's so much riding on Premier League survival now. With the new Riverside stand going up, potential 30,000 capacity increasing to that. As I said, there's so much riding on it now, so much depending on us staying in the Premier League, that I don't think we could afford to go down. And if we were to go down, all of the problems that we could face with financial fair play and players wanting to leave, and it's just not what we want to do. I don't think it'd be great to go for another rebuilding process again. We've had that for the past 3 seasons now. We've brought in over 12 players in each window, and it's been a constant rebuild, and a constant rebuild for the past 3 years, and I don't think that really would be great going into a 4th year, having to tear up the blueprint and start all over again. I don't think that would work at all. But looking at the positives today, obviously Abubakar Kamara got a goal, it was a goal that was a good quality, what a good quality striker can do really. All the qualities that a striker should have: following in, gambling on the 5-yard box from a crossing from Sesson, I think it was good tap in. And that's the type of thing that I don't think we've done a lot of this season. Really gambling on crosses, gambling on the ball coming into the box, and really just anticipating where it could go. Obviously, Kamara did that today, followed in quite well, and he got his reward for doing that. He tucked it away well, and it's the perfect way to really silence the horrible abuse he got over the weekend. And that's all he's got to do at the moment. He's obviously learnt from that now. Ranieri's spoke to it, it's been dealt with. We've all got to move on from it. But what he can do now is just go and do all your talking on the pitch. score goals, keep playing well. That's what you've got to do. There's no point engaging in a war of words, as I've seen players in the past do on social media. It's never going to get you anywhere. It's going to make the situation worse. And to be fair, I think he's done the right thing, really. He's kept his head down. Okay, I must admit, an apology probably would have been the most acceptable thing to do, but he didn't do that for whatever reason. I'm not too sure what happened there. But he's gone and scored a goal today, and he's done the right thing on the pitch. So if he can keep doing that between now and May, then he'll definitely look to try and. I'm sure he will eventually redeem himself with Fulham supporters. And it's at the end of the day, look, we've got to get behind our players. We're in a sticky situation. Obviously, it's going to be a tough, long road now between here and May. Now we've got to get as many points as we can. The supporters have all got to stick together alongside the players, because it's one of those things now where, if we can start up, it'd be fantastic, but it's going to be a very, very big effort to try and maintain our Premier League status this season. It's been a hard season so far, and we're doing as much support as we can get from everybody, everyone pulling in the right direction, no bad apples in the group, and fingers crossed we can stay up. I'm confident we can. I mean, Ranieri coming out of the game today was fairly okay, fairly content with the performance. I don't think we were that bad today, really. I think if we put the chances away if Session puts one of them chances away in the first half, it's a completely different game. We've got something to hold on to and something to try and cling on to and sit back maybe and try and see what Arsenal are made of when they go a goal down after the recent defeat at Liverpool. It's definitely been something to really test Arsenal with. As I said, going a goal down had been definitely something I'd like to have seen. It didn't happen, but sometimes when you are an attacker, you create your own luck. Sometimes we're creating the chances, as I said, but we're just not putting them away for whatever reason. Mitrovic was like that as well with his little mini goal drought, but he keeps getting in the right areas, and it eventually does come. It does pay off in the end. He got his goal on Saturday against Huddersfield for continuously making them good runs. And if Sessignon can keep doing that, I'm sure one will go in. And if one goes in, then his confidence will go back up and he'll get back on the goal trail. He may set up a goal today as well, so his overall performance wasn't too bad. But I do think Kamara definitely has more of a future in his team than probably somebody like Andre Schürrle does. I must admit, I was a big fan of Andre Schürrle when he came in. I thought he was definitely the type of player we needed, but I don't know, I just think that lack of pace out wide. Don't get me wrong, technically he's a very, very gifted player, and he's definitely got that bit of quality that we don't really have sometimes. But in the way we want to play sometimes, you could do that bit more pace, especially with Ranieri's style of play, like a Kamara or an Aite, to really stretch the back line. And I'm surprised Aite hasn't actually got more of a look in than what he has. I mean, against Chelsea when he came on, I didn't think he was that bad at Stamford Bridge. And apart from that, he hasn't had much of a look in, really. And I would like to see him maybe get another game or two, just to see where we are with him. And there's the perfect opportunity on Sunday against Oldham for some of these fringe players to really give Ranieri some food for thought ahead of the transfer window, to really step up, and albeit against a League 2 team, but it's a chance to show them what they can do in a match situation, which I'm sure some of the fringe players haven't had the opportunity yet to show what they can do in a game. And it's going to be a good opportunity for some of these players to really get out there and show us that they've got a future in the black and white of Fulham. And if they do, then great. But I do think, looking forward to the transfer window, we do have that big game against Burnley coming up. Hopefully we can get maybe 1 or 2 bodies in before them, and then maybe try and kick on to maybe get another 2 in before the Tottenham game towards the end of the month, because there is some quality lacking there. I think we need another centre-back, maybe a new right-back as well. I think Fosu did come on today as well, and I hate to say it, but I do believe he has to go back to Man United in January, or this month, sorry, because against Bournemouth, in his last full game at home, it was when he gave away that penalty. He's not what we need, really. Unfortunately, again, another player when we signed, I thought he would have done well, but it hasn't worked out, and it happens, obviously. You know, you sign some players, not every signing is going to work out. It hasn't for him, but I'm sure if we sent him back, we could use that extra Premier League loanee to try and bring in somebody with a bit more experience and a bit more of a better player. Someone like a Nathaniel Klein, maybe, or an extra striker, really, that we could do with an extra goal scorer. Because if Mitrovic were to get injured, I would worry long term about us bagging goals this season if he were to get injured. But we just got to see what the future holds for him. He's done well at the moment. Bit of a quiet game from what I heard today, but look, it's the life of a striker, isn't it? Sometimes you're the match hero, match winner, and sometimes your luck's not always in. But we just got to dust ourselves down. That's happened. It was one of them games that we weren't expected to win. We've not won at the Emirates before. It's been a poor ground to go to for us. Not been a happy hunting ground at all. Burnley's another one of them grounds where it's a bit of a bogey team at Turf Moor for us. We did beat them at home, which gives them a bit more optimism, because we did brush them aside quite easily, really, in the end. I know we can let in 2 goals that day, but I do think we are a better team than Burnley. I think we've got more players on the ball who can really hurt Burnley, but it's going to be a difficult game up there. Small pitch, tough, big physical presence, like players like Tarkowski, Barnes, and players such as that, who are going to be on our faces playing direct football. It's not going to be easy, and If we can't beat them, then I would worry, because we've got a lot of the big boys to come at home. Your Spurs, United, Chelsea's, Liverpool City's, all them still to come at home, and towards the latter stages of the season, which isn't ideal really, but there's still points to be won. There's still plenty of time to pick up some form. Hopefully this transfer window is a productive one. Hopefully we don't leave it to the last minute like we did last year of our business. Hopefully we've got a structured, well-organised plan of how we're going to approach this window, because as I said before, when we was in a situation 4 years ago, the window was terrible, and it just seemed like it was a panic window to try and ensure we stayed up. Hopefully that isn't going to be the case this year. As I said, hopefully we've got a nice structured, organised plan to see where we go, and hopefully we have. If you did enjoy this preview review, guys, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new as well, and we'll see you all soon. Take care, guys. See you soon.